several venues, including the Powell Theater, City Hall, Hammerstein Ballroom, and many notable venues, including the inauguration of New York City Bill de Blasio. She has shared stage with notable people, including Harry Belafonte. Y'all can make noise. Y'all can make it. Y'all want to? Ah, dang! What? Rosario Dawson, Eve Ensler, and many more. Through her journey and collective experience, Ramya hopes to grow into a beautiful person with light, love, and a clear vision of unity for humanity. So, it gives me great pleasure to introduce y'all featured poet for tonight, Ramya! Ramana! Listen, she said, my grandmother says, good things come in small packages. Own that.
Own it. Own it. There you go.
Give it up.
What are you doing? I said I'm not that short, but I ended up moving at the same length you left it at. So I guess I am that short. How is everybody tonight?
Good.
Wow, it's been great to be here. This is my first show in like 7 months. So
welcome home.
Thank you. And just like hearing everybody tonight, I'm like, oh my gosh. It brings me back to when I just first started joining Urban Word, which is an organization where I met Penda at. And I just started hearing people writing, and I would just be so starstruck. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I wish I could write like that. And just hearing all of you speak today, it really brought me back to that place. So I just really want to like thank you for sharing that experience with me. Like, you don't know how much it means to me, but it moves me a lot more than I can verbalize right now. So got a couple poems for y'all.
Take your time. Take your time.
So the host in the beginning said, first of all, give it up for your host. He's just been amazing all night. I met him years ago at the McDonald's Gospel Cafe. I was there with my high school, and I met him because we started following each other on Instagram. And now I see him like two and a half, no, it's been like 4 years since high school. Dang, it's 4 years. Wow.
You're giving your age away.
But in the beginning, he said, it's important to love yourself, you know? And I think that being a young woman, especially with immigrant parents, my first reflection of what it means to love myself is what I saw in my mother. And the way my mother was raised, it was always to put a man first. And it was always to sacrifice herself for the betterment of a man. And watching that, it made me feel like the potential of a woman was just to give and was to not be whole. And so I have a lot of poems about that, because, you know, being a poet, we talk about stuff like that. But so the first poem is called Pop Quiz for an Apologist. A. The Sphinx at the refinery made me feel like I am whole, all by myself. B. My mother apologizes every time someone asks a question. A. The Sphinx's back broke like seasons, but she was still grizzly throughout the year. B. My mom raids her own heart every day by looking in the mirror. A. The Sphinx taught me life lessons, like just when you get comfortable with the waves, a tsunami hits. B. My mom taught me that a woman's space is learning how to not take up any. A. I wish the Sphinx was my mother. B. My mother sometimes acts like a child. A. The Sphinx is being taken away by the white man. B. I say sorry in the beginning and end of every conversation. A. The white man is going to talk about her sweetly, as if she went down without a fight. B, my mother is a sweet woman. She looks even prettier after suicide attempts. B, A, the Sphinx had fists for eyes, looked like a revolution was living inside of her. B, people say I have a sweet face like my mother. I am always scared to hear this. A, I've had a history of white people taking things away from me. B, my mom says I should eat more papaya, said it makes your skin lighter. A, the lady who I want to be, my mother is going to die. B, my mother has died long before I was born. A, the Sphinx is already melting before she's being taken away. B, I still say sorry in the beginning and end of every conversation.
Wow. Yes, 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 yes.
So, this is another poem about my family.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's called Testimony in Progress. The week before college, my mother tried to kill herself. She was all dusty relic, crumb of martyr, symposium of darkness. My father found her at the house. Her body, a tombstone of rumbling earthquakes. Is this what a failed exorcism looks like? He called 911 and took her to the hospital. By the time I get there, my father is gone. He has left to marry a woman from Thailand that he has just met a month ago. He was supposed to leave earlier that day and was complaining that he might miss his flight because of this. Her corpse only speaks in tremble. I cannot afford a dead mother or a blink, because any moment she can become all skeleton, all lack of soul and still. I stayed at my pastor's house for a week. They made sanctuary out of their palms and held me like the last scripture that is read before the end of times. And at this moment, I understood why I always hated theology, because when God happens, nothing else matters. The only thing I knew was to make seatbelt out of this mouth, to understand that there is a time for everything. When my mother started getting better, she asked for my father constantly. I didn't know how to remind her that the contracts were signed, that in this country, ink means far more than blood. She started asking for the rest of my family, everyone except me, and I felt selfish for noticing this. My best friend is not here for me. He is far more concerned with awards and glory and attention and other things that people usually say they wish they cared less about on their deathbeds. A week later, her teeth open and close like a lid of a garbage can. She is able to carry conversation, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. For all she asks is for my father. I wonder then if mountains constantly ask for ocean, or if oceans cannot live without mountains. I realize neither of this is true. They are both beautiful and whole, and together they complement one another. This is caricature of relationship, but people do not understand that the earth is just an infinite book of analogies on God and purpose, including me. Because what do I know about human life besides that it is far more than just surviving?